Hey everybody, Emilio here, future Emilio here. Just to say that this episode has a mild discussion of pedophilia. It's very short, but I just wanted to give a trigger warning. So, yeah, if you are triggered by that, feel free to skip this episode. Anyways, on to the show.
Hey everybody, welcome back to the Trash Talk Podcast. Today we got some show
It's
for you.
we have an interesting thing to show for you guys today. It may not be the case for you guys, but for us, it's been a little bit since we've last done one of these podcasts, so to speak. Recorded an episode. I mean, it's been
And that's how we
a few
start
weeks,
every show.
maybe? Yeah, pretty. I just go over. It's like, man, we haven't talked since the last recording, and it's been a while.
Yeah. Anyways,
It's pretty much it.
we have to start the episode with the bet. Bet. The bet.
So, you go first, Emilio. What is your update on the bet?
Well, for those of you who don't know what the bet is, go listen to last episode and then come back.
Fantastic words from Emilio, everybody. All right. So,
Sorry, is that you froze up, so I didn't know.
You were just sitting there like,
No, I don't have any updates.
no, no update.
No updates. I'm like 2020 the boss. With no updates.
2020 to boss. I believe that. Hey, wait a second here. You know what? Just for that, I'm gonna make an update video. I'm gonna make an update video that you're going to love,
Awesome.
and it's gonna be about absolutely nothing.
Do you have any updates regarding the bet? Bet.
The let me see here. I've asked a few. If we're talking about the one bet that we have going with bringing a girl onto the podcast or a girlfriend, I have asked 2 or 3 different girls all at once. If any of them wanted to, I figured I'd get lucky.
He put them in a group chat.
1 in 3 chance at the
Send a
very least.
message at all these
I
people.
do now know what pepper spray feels like, and no, I have no further update on the bet. Unfortunately for me, I don't have any girls lined up. Sorry.
They're not
Sadly.
objects.
Listen, man. I can't go any farther with that. Yes, respect women, everybody. Respecting women. That's like the new Trash Talk logo. Respecting women.
Yeah, and regarding the other bet, the bet 2.000, I don't feel like we should talk about the games because we already take long enough with an episode. So by the time this one comes out, the Packers would have already won the Super Bowl. So there's no point in updating each week of the
You see-
NFL. So
You know what? You do have an actual good point, though. I mean, the games would have happened. The records would be different by the time this comes out. I mean, the Packers would have already died in that bus accident that definitely wasn't pre-planned by me. You know what? All in all, though, you're right. We should talk about it another time. Definitely.
I'm
One
going to
more game.
notify the school after that.
They notify the school. Yeah, because all the Packers players are so young that they still go to high school. Absolutely. You call their principal and you tell them.
Anyways.
Yes, you do that.
So yeah, that's the bet. And in other news, I have
Basically, we have no real update.
I don't. Yeah, no. In other news, and this is the definitive proof that I make better videos than Ryan.
Oh, yeah, okay. All right, let's hear this one. I'm very curious.
Well, I won an award, and my video was selected as the top 15 videos, and it's being presented in the Y20 Summit in Saudi Arabia, which the Y20
Was
is
it
the youth
very,
council
very cool?
of the G20. And if you don't know what the G20 is, the G20 is the alliances of the 20 wealthiest countries. And one of my videos is being presented there. And if you're wondering which video is, obviously the one where I shave off my hair, that's going to be a hit in
Yeah,
front of
definitely,
Vladimir
yeah.
Putin.
So, first of all, I want to say congratulations to Emilio for having any of his videos selected. All of them perfect for the dump, perfect for filling that empty space in your trash can. But the one video where he shaves himself completely bald is a masterpiece. not only does it show the quality he has as a YouTuber, but it
Thank you.
also shows the declining quality that Saudi Arabia currently has in selecting YouTube videos to present day. So therefore, Saudi Arabia, please check out DeBoss Official. You will find much better quality content, and I promise I
Bro,
don't
don't
shave my
tell
head because I'm already losing it.
don't
So
don't tell them that, bro. I'm never gonna get it awarded anything ever again. No, but for real though, this an actual thing that is happening. This Thursday, I'm supposed to.
okay.
It's gonna be done virtually right now because of the pandemic, which kind of sucks. But yeah, they're gonna be presenting my
You know
video
what?
one of these days. It's gonna be very cool. It's I haven't. It's no video I've ever posted. I did that specifically for them. But yeah, this is proof that
Oh
I
yeah.
make better videos than the boss.
Well, if this is a real event, then actual congratulations on having it selected.
Is this
However, I must
why was there
disagree with one.
doubt about it? Like, why would I lie about this?
However, I must disagree. I am indeed still better than Emilio. I think
Where's your
that
award?
my quality and my vision for my update videos alone are better than anything Emilio has ever produced on his channel. I think that you guys should check out my channel and then check out his and then compare the two. And then we'll see who has the better quality videos. Who else has poured milk on themselves? Not Emilio.
I'm
Who else
lactose
has swallowed
intolerant.
deodorant?
I'm deodorant
Are you
intolerant.
lactose? So is that your excuse for not eating deodorant? You're lactose intolerant.
Yeah. Yeah, they make that shit with milk. But yeah, no, it's actually a real thing that is happening. I am being presented in the Y20 summit, and I'm very, I'm more like, I'm kind of nervous about it. Because in the one hand, it's like, yeah, I made this really good video for them, but then they're going to want to know more about me. And I don't know how far I can introduce myself. You know what I mean? Like, how much information should I give? What should I say? It's
Honestly,
like,
I
have you
think
guys
that'd be-
heard of the Trash Talk
I mean,
podcast?
yeah, you should definitely do that. Actually, I think the best intro to give the first best impression of yourself when they ask you, "Sir, if you could describe one thing about yourself that's amazing, what would it be?" It's like, well, you see, I know this balding 21-year-old man who I do this podcast with called the Trash Talk Podcast. You ever hear of it?
They're
It's with
gonna
that
say,
pudgy white
"Oh
dude."
yeah, the pudgy white guy."
That's how they're not even going to remember DeBoss or Ryan. They're like, "Oh yeah, the fat white guy. That's
That's
right,
where I know you
the pudgy
from.
white guy."
Uh,
I'm tan. This is tan. You can't see it in the lamp, but this is tan.
no,
10.
I'm very excited. I want to see the other videos that made it. And yeah, it's gonna be fun. I don't know if I should make a video about it, or maybe I'll make like a vlog and post it on my second channel. I don't know. By the time we post this episode of the Trash Talk podcast, it'll already happen, and the next episode will be got kicked out of the Y20 summit for quoting the boss.
Probably. I'm just gonna, like, literally, they're gonna have it as the best presentation they've ever had, but my face is just gonna flicker for a second. They're like, nope, this is banned in, like, every country in the area. No way. Get that video out of here.
Yeah.
It'd make one hell of a vlog, though.
It would have been cool if I actually got to go to Saudi
Oh
Arabia and then be kicked out of Saudi Arabia.
I mean, I'll tell you one thing. That'd be one hell of a vlog that you could make. I can only picture the thumbnail and the title now that you would be coming up with. That'd be hilarious.
I fight the king of Saudi Arabia? Oh no, we're having connection issues.
What? Kicked out of Saudi Arabia? I don't know, man.
But yeah, that's
In-
it.
It's pretty much, that's literally all, like, no joke, like, fourth wall breaking here, like, we had no idea what, like, Emilio had a few ideas, like, I'm assuming this, for example, to talk about,
Yeah.
but the two of us, like, I know I didn't have any, like, solid podcast topic for today, so it's nice that we can at least talk about your showcase. Seriously, though, buddy, congratulations.
Thank you.
Mine will make it in someday, guys. Update vlog 2025 will indeed make it one of these years, I promise.
It has
So,
to.
when
It has
5
to be
years, update
denouncing.
vlog will be.
It has to be a video speaking about a social or environmental issue, and I feel like that's already like 90% of the DeBoss videos. Also, nostalgia factor videos, I would argue.
I think some of mine could make it in. Like, if I'm going on, like, a non-serious note here, like, definitely being environmentally friendly with wasting milk and pouring it on myself. I think that helped cleanse your
I
skin.
feel like
I
that's
could
a
probably get in for
protest
that.
of the milk industry.
I really hate the milk industry. Gallagher's, you guys need to step it up. Your milk quality is terrible. I should know. When I felt it ooze down my skin, soak into my shirt in a humiliating video, I wasn't satisfied at all with the product that I had received.
Yeah.
Therefore, you guys need to change up your stuff because this shit is unacceptable. Please change your milk quality now. If I'm going to pour it on myself for a video, it needs to be thick. It needs to be fantastic. It needs to feel good and wear good. Get your stuff together, Gallagher.
Amazing. I'm gonna steal
Please.
that speech for the Suds.
It's like, and now I'm going to protest milk at a convention that has nothing to do with Gallagher's.
Actually,
It's
this
a win.
reminds me of this. I'm gonna call this section of the podcast "Wacky Wisconsin."
Wacky Wisconsin.
Oh my gosh. Is this going to be another Packers thing? I guarantee you this is probably
Because
Packers.
it kind of has to. Because the first time I don't know when, but one time when I went back when I was still allowed to enter the U.S. after the incident.
Yeah, the incident that we will, of course, you guys know, you guys.
Yeah. Go check every episode of the podcast. If you don't catch it, you have to watch it 50 times. It's totally not to drive our audience size. It's just really subtle every episode. No, but
Don't feel bad, guys.
what?
We'll give you a hint. The reason has something to do with Emilio's blue skin. He was guaranteed was too much of a Smurf.
Yeah.
That's why he didn't make it.
And I was
They know how bad this
responsible
works.
for assassinating Abraham Lincoln. It's like a whole thing. Anyways,
The time travel episode comes back.
so I
Oh wait, that's
remember
not out yet.
one time I went to Wisconsin. Well, every time I've gone there to Milwaukee, and I remember me and my sister were watching the news, and we saw this piece came out that there was a group of people that were protesting and lobbying the government to stop calling almond milk and coconut milk and soy milk, to make the government ban them from using the term milk.
Oh my
And I'm
god.
like, what is this? Is this what the first world looks like? Kind of.
Yes, it is. We have riots here. For those of you who live outside the U.S., man, we have riots in the milk industry all the time. I mean, people are burning down factories. They're destroying milk in the street. Hell, the Kool-Aid man changed to the milkman for a time. Instead of the, oh yeah, Kool-Aid, it's, oh yeah, milk.
Yeah, it was
It's the weird
crazy.
thing.
Yeah, that's one of the
Oh yeah, it
things
was.
I never understood. It's like, why are you guys so angry about soy milk being called milk? It's literally doesn't
I
matter.
have no idea. Me personally, I don't even like soy milk or
Yeah.
almond milk. I mean, the milk I generally drink is like regular 1%, 2%, that kind of thing. I really don't care about different types of milk. I can guarantee you when I drink it or if I pour it on myself, as I have done in the past, I don't have a preference. People argue over the stupidest things, man. Milk, I didn't even know about the milk, to be honest. I
Yeah.
haven't heard of any protests, although I'm not surprised that it was a thing.
It was a thing
Especially in
a few years
Wisconsin.
ago. I mean, it is called America's
I
Dairy
believe-
Land. So I do know that
Milk of all things.
it is greener to be vegan if you because apparently cows produce just a crazy amount of CO2 that is. So it's healthier,
That's true.
but and
They do.
greener, and but also I've heard that, for example, almond milk is also pretty. It pollutes a lot as well, but not as much as regular milk. But it is not environmentally friendly.
I don't know. I've tried almond milk in the past. I've had it a few times. I remember at like a relative's house when I was younger. I had it most then. Almond milk it's okay. I mean, there's nothing fancy
Yeah.
about it. In fact, I argue it tastes worse than like regular milk in some regards.
Oh, you
because
just
it's
got a text, buddy. You just buzzed everybody's ears off.
What's like the main milk company you have in Mexico?
It's more regional in that way because it depends. Like the main one is Lala, but in my city it's
I've never heard of that.
Leche León, or
Leche. Okay, I heard the term leche. That I do.
But yeah, I don't know. It kind of depends on the region. It's not like, I mean, the main one is Lala, but it's whatever. I don't know. It depends.
All I was gonna say was like in my area, there's like in the U.S. I think as a whole, like there's like a few main milk companies. Like Gallagher's is one that's like nationwide. It's not really region locked. However, there are certain companies that produce stuff like milk and eggs and whatnot that are specific to the area. So, for like where I'm located at, like on the eastern seaboard, we have like our own companies, like Sheetz, for example. It's a gas station that's exclusive to the East Coast. If we're talking industries
we
exclusive,
have that sort of vibe
whereas
with
on
milk.
the West Coast, Sheetz doesn't exist. You guys have that example with milk. I mean, we kind of have that here in general.
Yeah.
Gas stations being one.
No, actually, I guess here's the opposite because, well, it wasn't anymore. But I remember when I was a kid. Actually, this is fairly recent. This is like 2017 that they changed this, I think. It used to be just one gas station company. So it was Pemex. And only they were allowed to sell gasoline. But they stopped that. It's so dumb the way it works now because, like, you can start your own gas company. And you can find your own oil reserve. But first what you got... So let's say you find oil in your backyard. And what happens is that now the government...
I'm rich.
No, because of what I'm going to tell you. So the government takes that oil and then they sell it to you again. So you can do whatever.
You have to buy your own oil twice.
Yeah. It doesn't make sense, but it's the way it works. I think it's better because... I mean, in the U.S., it already... I think it works that there's only 2 oil companies in the U.S., technically. And so they control everything, and then they fix the prices. So it's basically the same. You know, it's like you find oil in your backyard, and then you sell it to Chevron, and then Chevron sells it to you again, so...
Man, if I discovered oil in my backyard, and I lived down there is absolutely no way that I would tell anybody. What I would end up doing is, I would make sure that my livestock, my cows, instead of producing milk from earlier, they would just produce oil. That way I'm literally milking the industry, and I get to sell it by the bucketful. I'll make a lot of profit in the long run.
You could just sell it in the black market or whatever.
Hey, that's racist, man. I mean, we call this here the pink market.
Anyways,
pink market.
No, but the government obviously has to pay you for your house and everything because like they have to move you out of there, but they don't pay you for the oil exactly.
Again, that's just a very weird concept to me for industry. It's like the same logic as if you found gold on your property. But like in some cases, I know like here the government's like tried to take it because it's like a natural resource. But the people, if they own the land and they find it, it's theirs to.
Yeah.
It's the same logic as if you find the gold, the government takes it from you, and then you have to pay for it. But then they sell it back to you, and you have to pay for it again to get the gold back. It wouldn't make any sense.
Also, if we find oil in Ryan's backyard, I think you guys should call the fire department because we're idiots and don't know anything about oil refinery. So we're just looking to hurt ourselves in one way. So do us a solid and call the fire department.
Well, you're right about us. You're right about us being idiots with the. Well, you're right about us being idiots for the oil industry, but I can tell you right now, if we strike anything that starts gushing up from the ground, it's not going to be oil. It's probably going to be sewage.
Oh yeah, I saw that.
It's probably going to be sewage. We're just going to call the company and be like, "Hey, listen, we struck oil," and it turns out it's just like, well, you have a lot of something, a lot of numbers here. It's like high numbers, yeah, a lot of number 2s, number 1s.
Where did you steal that joke from?
You know, a lot of that stuff. Wikipedia.
Anyway, I remember.
Where all stolen jokes come.
You should watch this show, everybody, called League of Super Evil. It's this really funny Canadian show. It's about...
Oh, I loved that show when I was a kid.
Oh really? Do you know it?
Fantastic show. I watched that when I was younger.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it's Voltar, right? Like, he's like this little red guy who's the leader of like a bunch of guys. Yeah, their house. I watched this show when I was a kid. It was on a program called Cartoon Network.
I didn't know they aired it in the 1950s.
Like years ago, like many years.
Anyways, so...
The 19... Yeah, because a few years ago was the 1950s. We're currently in 1961, everybody.
Yeah.
Like 3 years ago, that show was popular.
Anyways, no, but I also watched it,
No,
when I was a wee lad, And I remember the episode where the state apparently draws an X on their on their lawn, and they're like, "Oh my God, there's treasure!" And they start digging, and then they hit a sewage pipe, and they think they found gold.
Oh my.
And then they see the other houses, and all of the houses have an X, and it's like, "No, Voltaire, here's where the government marked where the sewage pipes were."
Oh my. Oh my gosh. I don't remember that one specifically. One episode I do remember though, and this became kind of a meme later on, but it was like this Christmas special where they were like, okay, so Santa put us all on the naughty list. We're gonna ruin Christmas for everybody else. Well, the evil scientist, like the one in like the blue lab coat, he has great ideas. Voltar, the leader, has terrible evil ideas. His idea is to put on Santa outfits, break into people's houses, take their toys, lick them, and steal the battery.
Yeah.
Literally, they take the batteries and lick the toys. That's literally his evil plan to ruin Christmas for everybody.
Yeah, I don't
Takes a toy truck, removes the battery, and licks it.
I don't remember their names.
So
it was
stupid.
Voltar, Dr. Frog.
Voltar, Doomageddon. Doomageddon was the dog.
Yeah, I mean in
Red
Spanish
Menace,
he's called.
the big guy.
Yeah, in Spanish he's called Amenaza. Wait, no. Oh no, Amenaza is Red Menace, and Apocalypsis.
I don't remember who the other guy is.
Doom.
Like the tall, thin guy with like the blue coat and like the crazy hair.
That's Dr. Frog.
Is it? Oh, I had no idea.
Voltar, Dr. Frog, Amenaza, Apocalipsis, Liga de
I
Super
wouldn't know
Malvados.
that,
It's just that I had to
know the
watch it
theme
in
song,
Spanish.
Kinda.
So
I know Doomageddon's name was last song, for example.
yeah, it's just that I had to watch it in Spanish. So.
I can just tell you right now, if like the two of us were in that show, for example, Emilio would definitely be Voltar because he has terrible ideas, is really short.
I'm taller
and
than you.
Loves running around in red spandex. Emilio has this secret fetish of wearing red spandex, so
I'm
you
not
check all the
denying that.
boxes
I'm
for
just
being
more
Voltar.
offended of the fact that you called me short when I'm taller than you.
Dude, you're like 4'10", so
I'm
I mean
6'1".
I mean, you
Beta.
are shorter than me.
I feel like Ryan
I
would
want
be
to
the
see proof of
neighbor.
that. I don't believe you.
The neighbor that says,
I don't
I
believe
don't
that.
care. And that's his bit. I think the episode I mostly remember.
You know what? I'm 6'2", so therefore I'm taller than you by default.
I didn't know you started to wear heels.
Hey, listen, man. These slippers were custom made from Italy. They cost me a lot of money. Don't diss my implants.
The episode I remember the most, I
They were
think,
very
is
expensive.
the one about Lucky Underwear, where there's like a supervillain like stealing underwear, and these guys go and they try to find Voltar's Lucky
Oh my
Underwear.
God.
And the supervillain has this machine that
my
automatically
gosh.
gives everyone a wedgie. And when the machine tries to give
Oh my
Voltar a wedgie, he says, they're not my lucky underwear because they're good for me. They're my lucky underwear because they're my only pair."
Yeah. Oh my God. Oh wow. There's another episode that comes to mind for me. It was the one. You say his name is Dr. Freud. Is that
Frog.
his name? Frog. Okay, so Dr. Frog. There was the one where it was his birthday, and he has like really traumatic memories of like having this
Yeah.
robot clown that he built that he was meant to scare all the other kids for not inviting them to birthday parties, and then instead of scaring them, it scared him, and it just like likes to mess with him and like throw pies in his face and stuff.
Yeah.
Well, it gets to the point during his birthday where like that clown comes to life for a year, and then the clown chases him, Voltar, and the others around the city, and the others are trying to force him to like face this clown. They eventually corner him in a sewer where the clown's like about to like mess with him, like throw pies at him, and he's just like, "Oh look, it's midnight, time's up. See you next year, little boy." And he just leaves.
Yeah, that show was pretty funny.
That I forgot about that show until you brought it up. As soon as you said the name, though, I remembered it.
Yeah.
It's one of those cartoons that's like it's known, but it's not like iconic,
Yeah.
like remembered for like the next several decades. There's cartoons that exist like that out there, but I don't think that one's one of them per se.
I
But
feel
it's
like
still enjoyable.
I feel like maybe it in our immediate area it's not as popular because the show originally only aired in Canada and then made it to us.
Yeah,
It's like
which was weird. I don't even remember how long that show lasted for.
It
It
has
could have been very long.
3 seasons, I believe, and it's no longer on Netflix.
3? How many episodes? I didn't think so.
So no.
It's like one of those old like niche Cartoon Network shows.
I didn't actually see it
I
in
don't remember how
Cartoon
many.
Network. It was originally in this.
That's where I saw it.
It was originally in this channel called Jetix, and that channel later become. Yeah.
Yeah, I saw Jetix. Jetix for me was replaced with Disney XD.
Yeah.
Is
Same
what
same
it was
thing
replaced
here.
with.
Yeah. And then,
Yeah.
but it didn't like catch on there, and then they turned into public access TV here, and that's where I
Yeah,
saw it.
pretty
So,
much. I think it's the same here. Disney XD was more so reserved for like Disney's like
throwaway
hardcore
shows.
shows, if you want to call it that.
I call them
Yeah, like they're
throwaway
more like
shows,
teenage.
like because
They're pretty much throwaway because name all the iconic Disney cartoons that are like really good today, and then ask yourself, were they on Disney XD? 9 out of 10 times, no, they weren't. They weren't on Disney XD.
yeah, and
I mean, I gotta be honest. Like even nowadays, with some Disney shows, there's some pretty good ones out there currently.
I
Right
don't
now.
know. I think the last one I saw that I really liked was maybe I don't remember Gravity Falls or Phineas and Ferb.
I loved Gravity Falls. Phineas and Ferb was really good. Gravity Falls is going to be one of those shows it's regarded as like one of the best shows of the past 20 years. It's one of those shows. Gravity Falls was a fantastic show. I loved it.
I thought it was okay.
Great show. It lasted just long enough. It didn't drag on. Had great filler episodes in there that were entertaining for the show. Had a great overarching story, and the show creators went out of their way to include hidden messages and hence a season ahead of time. That's how advanced they were, and they had fan bases decoding everything in every episode. No other show's really done that.
I wasn't really that into it until like the second season. The second season, I was like, okay, that's kind of fun. Because the first season for me was so boring.
Admittedly, there was a lot more. There wasn't a lot of like main story set up there. There was sprinkles of it, but it was mainly just like self-contained adventures, if you want to call them that. The second season is where it kicked off like the main plot more, though, with some filler here and there.
Yep, I guess. Anyways, it's time for us to talk about a funny story I have. Funny story. So I was in German class.
I know exactly what this one is.
And it was about giving advice. And it was about this little girl that moved to a different town and didn't have any friends. And I said, well, what you're gonna do is you're gonna work real hard, earn a lot of money, and then you're gonna buy friends.
I thought you said this was a funny story.
Well, I was wanting to ask you, would you buy friends?
Would I buy friends? No. First off, you can't buy friends. Money can't buy everything in the world. And second off, the friends that people typically buy nowadays when they get older and older, typically the kind that would get you arrested and give you diseases beyond your imagination. So no, I wouldn't buy friends.
I'm guessing there's a
They're
story
not
behind that. But I don't know where I read this, but I think I'm going to get it wrong. I'll fact check myself after. So don't take this as fact, but I think I read that Jeff Bezos bought his, someone from his high school's house.
Okay, so everything you say is 100% true.
So, would you buy your high school bully's house?
I'm trying to think. I don't even think I had any. I didn't have any specific high school bully. There were people.
The entire school made fun of him.
Did the usual name calling BS and everything else. Wait, what?
I didn't go to high school, so I'm safe.
I mean, what? Well, I didn't have one. I had a few people here and there, like I said, that annoyed me and tried to do all this dumb stuff, but no specific person. But if I did have a specific person that messed with me every day and did bad things, would I buy their house?
I feel like
no,
I would.
But I would buy their mother and then sell her to the gypsy and then see how he feels.
You can't say the G word. That's a slur. The correct
I
term
would
is
sell
Romani.
I would sell his mother to Emilio because Emilio is probably in need of companionship at this point in his life.
I am paying.
I'm
against.
Dude, you broke off our wedding. You broke off our wedding to get you into the U.S. I can't marry you now at the church because you burned it down. You won't take a woman that I bought from a high school bully. What is it going to take, man? Are you going to let me help you with your romantic life?
Reminds me of this.
Come on.
Of this story my friend told me of when his grandparents went to Turkey.
No.
this man approached them
Good.
and told his grandfather that he would trade 100 horses for his wife. It's like, and do you guys?
I don't know if that's an insult or a compliment.
And then I told my friend, I was like, and do you miss your grandma?
Like, no. Sold her for 99 horses.
That's gotta be like really random. Like, I don't know.
That's a lot of that's a lot of McDonald's hamburger. 99 horses.
But no.
I don't know.
I
tempting.
think I would sell a person for 100 horses. I feel like, well, for one, I feel like it is kind of illegal, and for two, I don't know what I would do with 100 horses. So,
Dude, it's illegal to buy somebody's mom. That's not the only illegal thing here. You can't buy or sell a person. That's slavery. No matter what context it's in, for horses or for money, it's slavery. You can't do that. It's so bad.
but that
Oh
happened.
gosh. See, this is why people thought we were part of the Cool Kids Club years ago, because of stuff like that.
You know, I do have some stories.
Oh my.
These are college stories. Cause I'm in college.
Oh, college. Again, the college you wanted to drop out of.
I already
that
dropped
college.
out at that one. I'm in a new one.
The college you already dropped out of.
I'm talking about the new one because I have some weird stories about my teachers, and I don't know. I
Oh
mean,
boy.
I'll start with the funny
You
ones,
haven't-
and then I'll go with the ones that made me uncomfortable.
Man, if we're going into like bad teachers, oh man, I have one specific teacher in college. Oh my.
Anyways, so I have an art class, and our teach. Well, it's more like history of art sort of story. We were looking at art from the Middle Ages, and my teacher just says, "Hey guys, can you guys give me a break? I'm gonna I'm gonna get a smoke because I got really excited just from looking at these pictures." So she turns off her
Oh my.
camera, and we can hear her lighting the cigarette. I hope it was a cigarette. And then she takes like a hit, and then turns her camera back on. I was like, "I'm sorry, guys. It's just that this stuff is. I'm really passionate about it."
I am so glad that you said smoking, because I was thinking you were going to go in a totally different direction when you say camera took off, weird noises were heard, these paintings turned me on. I thought you were going to say something else. So
Oh.
glad I was wrong.
It was so weird, but that's what happened. What you should know
never-
is that I'm at a Catholic university because no public school had my my major. So as you know, I'm a big fan of religion and Christianity, especially. Oh yeah, this trash talk.
Oh yeah, definitely.
We always talk about really religious stuff in here in the Trash Talk
Yeah,
podcast,
we always
such as
do religious topics.
vasectomies.
You know, like vasectomies, that was probably like our peak religious topic. Looking out for the youth of today.
Yeah, I feel like maybe Joseph had a vasectomy.
Oh my god, okay. I can just picture you now, because you said as soon as you saw your teacher come back with a cigarette, you just poured holy water all over yourself on the camera. Just like I have to unsee what sin you have wrought on me for seeing
Yeah.
this burning tip of ash.
No, I am strongly atheistic. I'm not a fan of religion. But it is kind of weird because we have some classes where the teachers start off by sharing a prayer. And I'm not used to that because I've always been in either a non-religious or a public school. So it's weird. I'm not going to lie. It's weird. And it's really weird because one of my teachers always sends us a message after it's like a picture of Jesus, and it says, "Have a nice day, class. May God be with you." And I'm like, what? That's kind of strange. I don't know.
I mean, I can't really say that I haven't experienced really anything religious in the classroom, with the exception of one class in 7th grade in middle school. Because like in college, high school, elementary school, there was no like real religious kind of like prayer or anything like that included. But 7th grade, though, for one specific teacher I had, This is no joke either. What I'm about to say, but this guy, I liked him. He was my homeroom teacher. He was a history teacher at the time. He would always go and he talked about like stuff from the Bible and whatnot. He would always go off and he talked about stuff from like the Bible and talk about how like important life was with like religion and everything. And then he did this thing in class where this is something straight out of the Bible too, where like wash like each other's feet in class, like classmates, and that's not a joke. Like you always do this thing where like you wash kids' feet.
What? I feel like that's
it's not a joke.
Like you should probably like get him on a sex offender registry. That's kind of weird.
He is on a sex offender registry, actually.
Oh, really?
Yes, he is. He was fired like years later, like after I was out of middle school. He was fired
my god!
Because of he got caught doing some other like illegal sexual stuff, and he is currently on a watch list. He was in prison for a while.
I don't even know what to say.
And now he's out, but he's on a list. There's nothing to say about that. Like that's like the only real like religious-esque thing I've experienced in school, and it just happened to be linked to a teacher who was later arrested for sexual stuff and then put on a watch list. Yeah, he is a pedophile. At that point, he is a pedophile.
You just made my story sound like I'm just whining. I was like, "Ugh, people religion bad." You straight up like, Jesus.
I mean, it's a real thing that happened though. I mean, that's like probably one of like the biggest incidents because I've been around a few teachers in my middle school, not just him, that have been arrested or fired for stuff like that. There was a reading teacher, for example, too. I saw her for one day.
Why do you guys need to learn how to read?
Because reading classes, I don't think is much of a thing anymore. But at the time, like years ago, for me when I was younger, it was a thing. It was reading class was a whole dedicated thing. But when I had reading class in middle school, there was a teacher I had for a day, and then I didn't know anything else about her, and there was a reason for that. It got replaced with the new teacher, who I believe is still there today. The teacher who I saw for a day got fired because of what's the word here? Fraternizing with members of the high school football team.
Oh,
fraternizing. That's the word.
Every week I learn something
and she got fired for that.
About your school experience that I'm just like, what? And it just comes out like so nonchalant. Like a couple of episodes ago, he told us about how they vandalized the school like 2 days before graduation.
Yeah, it was with you and your friend.
Yeah, and
at the time, cool guy.
And now I'm learning that your school employed a pedophile.
I mean, yeah, he became one eventually. Yeah, he's no longer there, granted, but even
I hope not.
I mean, I hope not either. But I haven't seen him in, my gosh, in many, many years, and I really don't need to or want to. I don't even know what the hell he's doing. But it just came to mind whenever you brought up, because he was like the only religious teacher like I've ever had, like openly talked about religion when he wasn't supposed to. That's the only example. And ironically enough, the only person to really go on about that stuff ended up becoming something really bad later on.
A stereotype that goes along with it.
I wouldn't. I wouldn't go too much in depth into that one. That is up to somebody else's opinion. In that case.
Damn. Anyways, my next teacher is weirdly horny and racist. Let me get
What?
My intro to writing teacher. He's a weird one. Okay.
Did she see the Smelly Goose channel?
Oh no, it's a man, by the way.
Oh, it's a he. Oh, never mind.
So what happened in one class? Okay, so the first thing that made me really uncomfortable once that it was so weird. It was right after the Champions League final, and the guy that scored the winning goal is a black guy, and I don't know what example he was trying to give, but he said that N-word that scored the goal last night. And I'm just like,
no. It's like I can't believe you don't know. PSA for everybody out there: don't use that word. Yeah. Don't use that terminology.
Yeah, don't say
unless you're granted
me.
Permission to use it in a friendly context by a fellow person who.
Yeah,
that's the only way that you should be able to use it. Other than that, don't say it. Don't say it. If PewDiePie is anything to go off of, don't say it. Even if you're mad at a game, don't record it. Don't say it.
There is no context in where that word isn't racist. Basically,
yes. Now, if you want to say Emilio's short, for example, go right ahead. That's not racist. That's
I'm taller than
just
you.
fact. No, you're not. I am 6'3".
I'm 6'4".
It doesn't look like it because I'm so tall. I have to hunch down for this.
Anyways,
6'4". You just change it from 6'1" to 6'4".
so yeah, that's my teacher dropping the N bomb with a hard R. That was weird.
Oh my god.
And why
But I bet so.
and then there's the other side where he's always extremely horny for some reason.
I gotta ask, does he look right into your eyes when he
No.
starts doing that?
But
Okay, good.
I hope not. I mean, he's speaking to a
hope not.
webcam.
Oh man.
By the way, that teacher's always like, I'm gonna like he always puts his forehead to the webcam. That's what I recreated. And so
Hello, class. Today we're going to be learning about history.
by
Look at
teaching
my
you the N
Oh
word.
gosh, no, I can't. I can't. Like, fine, you know what? I'll say it right. No, kids.
Damn, I'm gonna have to
Do it.
bleep that
Do
out.
it. You have to blur out a random food that starts with the letter A.
I'm
Sure.
gonna when you say nougat, I'm gonna only let the little fraction where you say the N sound. The boss says the N word.
Yeah, sure. Just do that.
I'm just kidding, everybody. Here's a real clip.
Nougat. Eat more nougat, kids.
Damn.
Dude, this has to be like one of the most like M-rated podcasts we've got into in a while. Like the last one I think we got into, what was the other like? It was the politics one. I think that was like the other like sensitive topic like
I'm not
episode
sure.
we've done.
We talked about
I think that's so
TikTok.
far anyway.
Like,
That's true. that was way worse than dropping racial slurs or teachers eventually becoming terrible people later in life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, so then my teacher, he's giving us examples of how to use certain. It's kind of complicated. In Spanish, we have certain like writing rules that are very specific. In English, you don't have these, but whatever. So we have those, and he's trying to do an example of that. But his examples are always very sexual. So it's like he always uses sex as an example, and it's kind of strange. It's like the first time I thought, oh well, I guess the situation requires it, but now every example is sexual.
Of course it has to. It makes sense. If that's your teacher's style, Emilio, then by all means, more power to you. I've never had a teacher like that, ever.
Also, he always tells us to
No one
turn
that's
on
actively
our
never said
camera and show our feet. And then he washes them. And he says he used to be a teacher over in Pennsylvania. Oh, no. Crazy guy. But
I believed you up until the foot washing part. As soon as you said feet, I genuinely believed you. Like, he's like, everyone turn on your cameras, hands and feet. Turn on your foot cam. He just asks you to turn on your camera and be like, listen, I don't want to see your guys' face. Just turn it down. There we go.
Oh, yeah.
Foot level. Okay, let us continue.
Yeah, those are my teachers. I have another teacher that believes in a lot of pseudosciences. I don't know how healthy that can be, but it's surely not great.
Dude, your college teachings are so weird. I've never experienced any of this in college. Like, my college experience has been pretty good so far as teachers and gone. There's only one teacher that I didn't really like very much, and that was just because of how the class was structured and his grading system. Nothing like...
Yeah. Like this. Are you telling me your like teachers don't say the N-word in the middle of class? Wow.
No, none of them have. No, none of them have, actually.
I feel like in that show, Community, have you watched it? I feel like I'm a character. I feel like I'm going to Greendale. I don't know.
It's like the latest episode of King of the Hill, the propane episode.
Propane.
Dang it, Bobby. Propane.
Anyways, guys. Ryan, why do you hate that teacher exactly?
I've been around teachers that have literally become criminals, essentially. Like, criminals is the only way to really put it, like, nicely. But as far as college gone, no. The only teacher, like I mentioned before, that I had, it was an English class that I had. It was like a more advanced English class. English is one of the subjects that I really enjoy. This teacher, though, it wasn't because, innuendos or racial slurs or anything like that. It had nothing to do with that. It was literally just because of the grading system of the class. We had 4 assignments to do throughout the year. and each one of them was a major paper. Which, fine enough, I suppose. You go to class, you learn about a few things here and there, and then we had so much time in between classes. Weeks were dedicated to just working on papers. To a lot of kids, that might sound good. You do a paper quick, you get an easy grade, whatever. You
Yeah.
don't even have to go to class half the time. The bad part about this class structure, though, was the English papers themselves were the only grades. And if you messed up even one thing he didn't like, because he was completely old school,
Oh.
if you didn't even use a quotation mark or a comma right, you would fail the paper. That is not an exaggeration. You would get an F if you missed even something like a comma, or you would have a lot of points taken off, to the point where an A went to a C. The grading system was that strict, and the problem is if you messed up one of those papers, your grade's essentially screwed for the rest of the year, or the rest of the semester, because those 4 papers, that's it aside from attendance. And those 4 papers were everything.
I have a
It sucks.
teacher like
And
that. It's so weird because the content of the essay doesn't matter as long as you have the format requirements. You get an A plus. Like that's what some guy
yeah,
did.
that is the I've had 2 English teachers in college. The first one I had was really good. The second one that I just talked about, content was everything. Format and everything about the paper. Format, content, structure, punctuation, spelling, everything had to be right. Otherwise, your grade would either fail outright for certain things like citations, or you just have a lot of points taken off the paper.
Okay.
It was that bad. It was that strict. And there was this, I don't remember what the app is, but there's an app, like you can look by university, or I don't know if it extends to other countries, but in the US, you can look by universities at different ratings your teachers have gotten based off their performances in class throughout the semester. His rating was so low, it was shocking.
Oh man.
It was so bad. Like, I wasn't even the only person that had that problem. It was a lot of other students. There was like one person that was like, "Hey, so and so is like a really good teacher. He's fair." But everybody else's like physical review, like, oh my god, yeah, they were bad, to say the least. Like, nobody liked him.
Jesus.
Nobody liked the class.
Well, I mean, at least he wasn't asking you to rub his feet.
But I have never rubbed another man's feet. Let's just get that clear. I was around it, but it didn't happen with me specifically. But he was my homeroom teacher, though. Like, we're going back to that other teacher that I talked about. Like, I was like in his class, so. But still,
Anyways,
it was still pretty fucked up.
that reminds me of remembering you guys of the Boss foot washing service that you can order now. The Boss will wash your feet for an hour for only $5.
$5, dude. What commercial are you looking at? 2015, dude. We're in the year 2020 right now. 5 years has a lot of stuff going on between. Our service is now cheaper. It's actually $3 now.
Oh man,
Sorry, I just really want that.
you guys heard it here first. I don't know what to. I'm still in shock that your teacher didn't do a background check on this guy or something.
No, originally when he was hired, from what I gather, he didn't have a criminal history or anything. Like when they hired him, but apparently, like as the years went on, like after I left middle school, I heard about it. Like in high school, he got fired and then he got arrested. He did a few other things. I don't remember exactly what he got arrested for. It was something around like sexual charges, but I don't remember exactly why.
Okay.
It was something else. But he got fired for it. He got arrested. And he spent some time in jail, and now he's on the list, so to speak.
Well, I guess I'm gonna have a hard time picking the clickbait for this episode because we've got from every angle. Remember when we started this?
We got illegal. We got illegal.
Remember when
we started this off by talking about spend.
Anyways, before we keep,
I was gonna say we had great news about your video getting selected for a presentation, and then we just went into teachers being racist, teachers being criminals, and everything else.
and that's today for the Trash Talk podcast. Remember to
welcome to our most rated M episode of the week.
Remember to follow me on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. You actually might have seen us in your For You page as clips from this show are appearing on TikTok now. So that's amazing. That means that Ryan is the last American soldier on TikTok. Anyway.
Yeah!
You can also, if you're watching the video version, you can also check us out on Spotify, iTunes, iTunes and Apple Podcasts are the same thing. Google Podcast, Pocket Podcast, Breaker, and many, 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 many more. And on Anchor, you can find all the links to them, and you can send us a voice memo.
And you might be featured in a future episode. Just send us your voicemail,
Wow.
please.
You can also find me on YouTube, Smelly Cheese, and you can find the video version on Smelly Cheese B, my second channel. Ryan, do you have anything to plug?
Yes, I do. If you guys want to follow me on Instagram, it's at RANBITTNER. If you guys want to follow my main channel, The Boss Official, where I've been actually more active as of late, producing gaming videos and skit videos, you come to the right place. And if you guys want to check out my second channel, The Nostalgia Factor, where I produce more retro gaming content, feel free to follow those.
Wow. I'm going to be so happy when I cut that out. And also, my channel just turned 6 years old. And there's epic clips of the boss in there if you want to check them out.
Oh, there is. It was before the forehead started getting like bigger and bigger as the years went on.
That's what he thinks.
Like
and anyways, everyone here at Trash Talk Towers, we wish you a good night.
Have a good one, guys.